remember, this is a mostly peaceful protest according to the mainstream media. Mostly peaceful.
Sorry, it's a surreal sight. This Black Hawk moved in just in the last few minutes from the Border Patrol, landing at that Homeland Security office on the Paramount side, right next to the Home Depot, and they are unloading this huge helicopter with, I mean, just boxes and boxes, dozens of boxes of ammunitions, less lethal weaponry. You see these tanks with flammable labels on the side, one after another, an entire shipment, as if they were getting ready for some kind of a major battle. I mean, it really has to be said, this is a remarkable sight in the middle of a suburban street here, where they are just unloading all of these weapons, carts full of boxes and flammable weaponry. So you can see that it just made its own parking spot there in the parking lot of that Homeland Security office on the
Those is white supremacist boots right there, man. You know, Rey Mysterio. Shalom, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Ruel, peace and salutations to the elect, and much respect to the brothers pushing his word in the four winds of the earth. And shalom to you few sisters out there as well. It's Brother Ariel coming at you with another lesson here. And the brother from VA GMS, VA Warriors had put this up on YouTube. So I went to go fact check it, and I seen it was on X. You know, if it's on X, down here on the bottom, it'll tell you that, you know, whether if it's fake, they'll put something up, you know, showing that, you know, this is it's a false post or what have you. I'm not saying you can trust on that 100%, but I noticed that they do that a lot. And this is something that allegedly, all right, we'll just say that to be safe, is on Craigslist. Okay, and it says seeking extremely tough, brave men for new crew I'm building. Okay, and this sounds like it has George Soros written all over it, man. Okay, because he's the one that really funds, you know, people going out to protest and wreaking havoc. Okay, and it says the compensation is $6,500 to $12,500 per week. And we are forming a select team of the toughest dudes in the area. This unit will be activated only when the situation demands it, but you get paid every week no matter what. High pressure, high risk, no room for hesitation. We need individuals who do not break panic or fold under stress and are basically all around kick-ass dudes. Physical strength, speed, conditioning is important, but mental toughness is everything. If you're not the biggest guy in the room, but you're the one people follow when things go bad, that's who we're looking for. We're recruiting those who are already hard, badass, and ready for confrontation when necessary. However, we can train you if necessary. Okay? And it says what we're looking for is mental toughness. You keep a level head under pressure and you don't panic. All right? Okay, and it's based in Los Angeles here. This is where they're looking for these tough dudes at, to go out there and wreak havoc. Because at the end of the day, this is just another psyop, man. Another psyop. Okay, and people are talking about martial law, right? But, you know, this would have to be happening all over the United States for them to call for martial law. It's only happening over there in Los Angeles in one spot. So I don't believe they're going to call for martial law. But, you know, I do believe it'll take something that will seriously inconvenience the whole country in order for them to proclaim America-wide martial law. And that would be the lights going out, okay? That's what would cause everyone to go into panic and everyone start rioting and, you know, all of these things, all right? So they're paying these people $6,500, $12,500 per week. I mean, shit, that's some good money there. But, you know, ultimately, this is right here. This is going to happen to them. They're going to end up getting locked up, detained, okay? That's what's going to end up happening to them. But yet, this is just yet another psyop, man, okay? It really is, man. It's you know, you got to watch to see what's going on behind the scenes, because something bigger than this is definitely about to take place. Okay, this is just something that's happening now, but you got to wonder what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, and yeah, you know, you just got to wonder what's going on behind the scenes. Something definitely bigger is going to come of this, and soon. All right, what we're seeing happening over there, you know, we've seen it happen in Minnesota with George Floyd. We've seen this happen countless times, and not once have they called for martial law. But soon, martial law will be called, man. Something big is going to happen, you know, a large-scale event where everything is going to be shut down. We just don't know when. You know, we keep preaching about this and teaching about this because we know it's going to come. We just don't know when it's going to come. But ultimately, we do know that it will happen because it's prophecy. Okay? And this is Ephesians 6:10 and 11. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, and put on the whole armor of the Heavenly Father, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Okay? I'm going to that word wiles real quick. Not in the etymology. I'm going to go on the etymology here. Okay? I believe the word is wile. Okay, and it says a trick or craft or fraud. Okay? Wicca, wizard. Let me see what else is on here. Pretty much other root words. But yeah, this right here, trick, craft, and fraud, okay? And this is what the devil, the so-called white man, is into. Trickery, okay, witchcraft, and fraud, okay? And psyops, and lies, and deception, okay? This is what they deal in right here, man. So while everyone's eyes is on what's going on over there in Los Angeles, like I said, what's really happening behind the scenes, man. Something's going on, all right? Because these things don't just happen like that. They're created, man. Okay? They are created. All right? Let's get I'm gonna make this fast too. Let's get 2nd Esdras 15th chapter. Come on, man. Let's get 2nd Esdras 15. And I'll start at 14 here. Right? As usual. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Right? And it is drawing nigh. Okay, we're seeing it happen here and there, but soon what we're seeing, with people over there wilding out, that's going to be happening everywhere, man. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes. And we're seeing that now on a small scale. People, they talking about, fuck ICE. They're destroying police vehicles and burning them up and all that. We're seeing that on a small scale right now. But what we're witnessing, everyone is going to witness, when they walk outside of their house, man. It's going to be widespread. It's going to be everywhere. Okay? And it says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And, I always bring this out. Brothers always bring this out. The 17th verse is talking about martial law, okay? Where they dictate and control where people are able to go, okay? If a city is locked down, if a particular town or a city or whatever is locked down, or even a state is locked down, you can't go to and fro when you want to, okay? You're unable to get in. You're locked out from it, okay? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And I believe, it's just my opinion. I'm just a man, but it's just my opinion. I believe that martial law is definitely going to be called, okay, and issued out when the light and electricity go off, man. Okay? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, right, which is the modern day gun, and spoil their goods. Everything that you have in your house is going to be taken because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, right? And we definitely approaching those times, man, where it's going to be real scary out here, right? And it says, and there shall be, this 37th verse, and there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon the earth. Why? Because of the, the atrocities that's going to be going on out here, man. It's going to be horrible. Okay? It's going to be horrible. It ain't going to be nothing like what we seen going on over there in Los Angeles, man. Okay? It's going to be on some third world shit, man. It's going to be real. People over here in the United States, you may see like a shootout or something like that, or somebody, get killed in the street or something like that. But, I mean, an abundance of people being killed, hearing screams of terror, screams of a woman maybe getting, sexually assaulted, or someone getting hacked to death or something like that, just screaming for their life, out of sheer terror and pain and agony. These things we really haven't witnessed before, and these things are about to come here to Babylon the Great, where we're going to see some very horrible things. So this is going to cause, everyone to be in great fearfulness, like it says here, and trembling upon the earth. And they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. All right, and we coming into that time, man. We're not there yet, but it's definitely coming. And it's going to be real bad, man. I mean, I can't stress that enough. The apostles teach us that when we read these scriptures, it's, try to visualize what you're reading. So if you can just read this verse alone in 37 and try to visualize how it's going to be on the earth in that time, you know it ain't going to be nothing nice, man. You know, when you visualize the scriptures while you're reading them, they come alive in your mind, man. You can really see. It's like you're seeing a vision almost, man. Okay? Like Edris, he sees visions. You know, he's just, the Lord showed him visions. The Lord showed other prophets visions, man. You know, he shows brothers visions. He shows, you know, other people visions. But when you're reading these scriptures and you envision it, it's really like you're seeing a vision, man. It doesn't mean it's going to happen the exact way you depict it in your mind. Okay, but it gives you an idea of what it would be like, man. Okay, let's get 2 Esdras 16 and 22. And it says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. Okay, that's another thing to worry about. I'll go into that a lot. So do other brothers, the famine, man. Okay, not only the famine of the word, but the famine of, you know, the lack of food, man. And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as dung. And I was just going into that, you know, hearing people's screams and all that in the streets, you know. People are going to be dead laying on the ground. No one's going to come and bury them. They're just going to lay there and rot, man. You know, come out and see wild animals and birds, you know, picking at dead corpses, man, right outside your front door. Just imagine that for a second, man. You know? And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. Okay? So yeah, man, it's gonna get real bad out here, man. Sooner more than later. And now this is the time now to, you know, prepare your mind and your spirit for what you're about to witness and encounter. Okay? Let me see here. I was going to go into Ecclesiasticus, the 3rd chapter, but I'm not going to go into it. Like I said, I didn't want to make a long, drawn out lesson on this. Okay, but what we're witnessing right now is definitely a psyop, man. It's a definite psyop. Okay, and you know, like I said, I'm just wondering what else is happening behind the scenes and what is to come, you know? And I pray the Lord gives me a vision of, you know, what is to come, because it's going to be something big. It's definitely going to be something big, okay? So yeah, don't be fooled by the wiles of the devil, the trickery of the red man. Shalom.